During South by Southwest, the TechTainment Lounge, I sat down with Mark Piening, the CEO of Circle Media, and Andrew Deitchman, founding partner for Mother New York. They taught me about unmeasurable audiences that are now measurable. Let's check it out. All right, I'm Arthur Edstrom. We're here at TechTainment during South by 2013. And Circle Media, tell me a bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
Great, thank you, Arthur. So first of all, I'm Mark Piening and CEO of Circle Media. What we've done is we've taken an approach to sponsorship measurement and live events that basically helps put the measurement in unmeasured media. So when brands and producers and other participants in live events make investments in that live event, now you can actually understand who the audience is and get audience intelligence so that you can do lots of different things with that information.
So what kind of investment are they making? These are the ones that are like the sponsors, the advertisers, that would be like at a concert, or what kind of event and what kind of investor?
Yeah, it's great. So it's when you produce a great live event, obviously there's the producer of the event and there's also the venue owner,
right,
or the people that you rent from. They're very involved in making that happen. Obviously the brand wants to be participating in that, so they invest to activate through a sponsorship. And there's also the talent that's part of that culture that brings the content forward. All of them are trying to connect with that audience in a very unique way, and they're all doing it independently. What we do is we bring them together and help them understand and normalize all that data so that they all win. You know?
Okay, so like in Nielsen would do like ratings, or they figure out the audience. They take a small sample set of, I don't know, maybe 1,000 or 1,200 like families of what they're watching. Arbitron, like on radio, maybe has a little bit, maybe larger sample. So how does it work? These technology and social media and things like that, you must do something with.
That's right. Yeah, it's exactly like that. In fact, it's a great analog, literally, for the conversation. So what we do is we take all the different social data sources, different applications. So if you build your own mobile app as a festival, great. We can tie that in. All you have to do is drop in some, JavaScript, or just give us the feed, and we'll drive that into the data set. Then there's all kinds of other social apps. There's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Vine Prime, like all the other things that are going to come out next year, next month. All those can be tied in, or the data can be passed in. We can call the API. But also behind that is all the back-end systems, things like ticketing data from a ticket butter.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Right? And there's also information from CRM systems. There's also information from consumer data sources like DMV data. So we can get a good picture of the demographics and the dimensions of that audience and help that come back.
So you get better information about who's actually attending the event, and then what value is that to a sponsor?
Yeah, great. So today, when you make an investment in TV or in radio or in print or outdoor, you get very discrete metrics called GRPs. That's how brand folks spend their money. Is they go, well, what's the GRP value of this investment? When they spend money on pay, own, and earn in digital, it's obviously often CPMs or CPC. So there's very good measurement there. But they don't have that in sponsorship. So what we do is we help them now know the audience, and then they know what the value of that investment was, just like they do in traditional measured. So now they can actually value, and because it's so emotionally connected through live event experiences, people love. I mean, think about the last time you went to a festival. You're like, oh, it was with Joe, it was awesome. And we remember that song they played. Remember he called us out, or he told that story about the last time in San Francisco when the band was out there. Like, that's part of the experience that makes it connecting, to humans. And brands want to be like friends, and this is a way for them to do that and have the measurement value that the other media mix gets.
So if they have better information about who's attending, what they're about, what could they do with that to make the experience be better for the actual attendee?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So today, for example, if I download the app to go to a festival, now I have the app, I have an engagement mechanism. What if I scheduled a bunch of bands I want to see at different stages? Now they know that about me. They also happen to know some other demographic information they were able to collect through Circle Media prior to the event. So now they have a point of view on that audience, and they can make offers. Things like, would you like to get a discount from someone like a Wellshark or a Groupon or other media partner that offers couponing and offers. They could also sell the media, the actual music. If it's a live festival, wouldn't it be great if you could actually get the music before from the app, in the app, and then get other recommendations through the app and have all that connected to my profile. So this is just a couple of activations. And of course, Deja Said, another company here in Austin, is another great example of the live track itself, right? And actually promoting that and driving more sales based on my predisposition to buy music.
And so all of that sounds really interesting to me, but how practical is it actually like applying it? If you have if your client is actually the sponsor, like what do you do with that to like have it be of value to them?
Yeah, and let me obviously introduce my partner here, Andrew Deitchman. Let me hand the mic over to Andrew. He's at Mother New York. I'll let him talk a little bit about what we've done with some of his clients.
Hi, how are you? Andrew Deitchman. I'm one of the founders of Mother New York. We're advertising communications agency, and as Mark said, work with lots of significant clients, everybody from Virgin Mobile to Microsoft, and so on and so on. And more and more, we're involved in producing brand experiences on behalf of clients. And as you're not reaching television audiences in the same way, and it's tough to aggregate audiences. More and more focus is going into creating brand experiences, and as Mark said, there's just not the same level of measurement that's available. And it started off kind of chairman's wife, as they say, which is the things they would sponsor were the things that people wanted to attend who were very senior within those organizations, and it's gotten a little bit more sophisticated than that. It's about, is this the right audience for us? But there really isn't a way of digging deeper into understanding who was actually at the event, how involved are they in our brand, what kinds of things did they do on the footprint, what other things could we be doing with that audience down the road, how can we append, conflate, whatever you want to say, that information to learn more as it relates to other parts of our marketing mix. There's all sorts of things that could and should be done that really aren't right now, and there's just a level of sophistication I think that live events hasn't seen yet that certainly is coming, and that's part of why we wanted to help start Circle, and they're working with a number of our clients now, and we're excited about it.
Are there things that you can do if you're gathering this information and you're doing it when the event is happening, or as the event is like rolling in, as people buying tickets? Yes. Are there things that you can do like while the event is going on, or would be with like for the next event?
I think it's going to be a combination of both. I mean, you'd certainly want to be able to get real-time information, particularly if you have a big footprint. Everything from if there's a way of looking at sentiment or somebody giving you feedback that this place is filthy, maybe you should clean it up and get some cleaning staff there. I mean, I think there are things that you could do just to make sure that it's not a bad experience. There's certainly a lot of things that you could do, though, real time to enhance experiences for people, particularly when you start to recognize perhaps even who that person is. Like now I know on my footprint that there's 10 people who are super fans of my brand right now, and I want to seek them out and do something really cool for them. But I also think a lot of it is going to be sort of more diagnostic after the fact as well. You've gone in, you've spent millions of dollars potentially to create a big brand experience moment, and how do you know how to optimize it for the next year? Yes, you can certainly do on-site surveys, you can do a couple of things to learn about how you did, but there isn't anybody who's really pulling together all of the inputs to give you a really full picture of, man, next time, let's not do that sampling thing. People really didn't dig that. Right. I think what we should do instead is give people the opportunity to win a backstage pass while they're there. Let's give out 30 backstage passes and create, this amazing sort of real-time promotion for people to buy into, and we then would understand, this is how many more people get involved in something like that. So I think you can change things on the fly, but I think it's also going to be about the diagnostic part of it afterwards, because ultimately it should be, Circle in many ways I think is a little bit mission-based in the sense that it's about getting the experiences to be better and better for consumers, and part of that will be, I think, a weeding out, brands that are not paying the due that they should, not applying the creativity, not applying you know, the thoughtfulness and strategy at times to this element of the marketing mix. They might spend a lot of money and a lot of time crafting a TV commercial, but they're not spending as much money and time and strategy crafting an experience, and I think that that's going to change.
Well, it's great to have metrics around all of these things, and that if you can actually show that sponsorship was of value and there was great conversion around it, it's a win for everybody. And the event gets better value, the people that go to the event get better value, and the sponsors get better value. It's very, very, very neat.
Yeah, literally, if we can get everyone to share, then we can, you know, basic data, or we can provide that to each of the ecosystem partners that make a lot of that happen. Everybody
wins. It's a complete win, yeah.
And the challenge has been that the market has not behaved that way. You know, it's grown up as, we've got to sell more tickets. You know, I get that. We need to sell tickets, but we also need to make amazing experiences happen. And it's great to work with Mother because they're so well known in the experiential marketing world as, you know, doing some of the most amazing things in marketing. So that, it's true. It is mission based in that sense, and that we want to make amazing guest experiences happen. And if you have them data driven, and you have activations that are data driven by design, you change everything. But if you don't, if you just do really cool stuff, but it's flat broadcast and it's not personalized, then you're really creative, but you're not smart, right? You're not doing what you can for other people that want to have these amazing experiences. So really, ultimately, if we can, we want to work with agencies. Like, we're a very agency-friendly company. Think of us like a Buddy Media, you know, with Facebook. Very open. We want to work with agencies that have creativity, that want to do data-driven by design activations and campaigns, and we'll help them. That's our job.
Well, it sounds really, really neat, and I've always said that I like Jeep Wranglers, but I don't like any other kind of Jeep, and I don't want to look at any other kind of SUV. So if you show me advertising, only show me Jeep Wrangler advertising, and whenever you do that, I will always watch it.
Right. That because it's now it's not advertising. See, the thing is, I like to say that, you know, the last 21st century, sorry, the 20th century was the Mad Men era, right? And no offense to all the marketing people that love it, because it's a great show.
Sure.
But, you know, that was a very brand selfish time. People were pushing messages to tell people what to consume. Right. Really, the 21st century is the era of authenticity. It's like social unlocks everything, and now you can actually get the experience you want to have because you can be known. And if you're just willing to be known, right, you're willing to tell people who you are and expose your preferences, they'll actually, marketing could actually be about making markets. Like, you know, basically making markets more efficient, and that's what Circle Media does. We're not in the business of cramming messages and broadcast jamming these things to people and pushing. We're creating these experiential activations where you can interact and learn and expose preferences so that you can get a better experience. That's our purpose.
I love it. Sounds fantastic. Well, thanks so much for stopping by the TechTainment Lounge during South by. Really appreciate it.
It's great to meet you. Thank you.
All right. Good job, man. Really? Yeah.